Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Today, we're continuing our 5-year rebuild series here in College Football 25. Today, we are doing the Miami Hurricanes. Now, I know the Miami Hurricanes were good this year, but that loss Syracuse cost them an ACC title appearance, and they would make it to the Pop Bar. Of course, they had the #1 overall draft pick, Cam Ward. And yeah, man, Miami, yeah, they're a good team, bro, but they seemingly can't win the big one. That's why they called your boy Greg up. I get it. We are nearing the end of College Football 25. CFB 26 is on the horizon. If I don't rebuild your team this year, there's always next year. Right now with Miami, they are an 86 overall, 87, 86 offense, 86 defense. They run the air raid in a 4-3 multiple. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is Miami's roster. They're led by Cam Ward, who was he a Heisman finalist? I can't remember. It's been a long time. He was the #1 overall pick in this past draft, so we got him. But outside of that, our quarterbacks look mid. Sorry, no offense. Damian Martinez, who I believe got drafted late. I think was it the Seattle Seahawks that picked him up? I can't remember who drafted him, but we have him. Mark Fletcher Jr., really good back. I think he'll be in have a good year this year. We have Chris Johnson Jr. with 98 speed. I'm probably going to put him starting. I don't know. Jordan Lyle and Mr. Chris fullback. We don't have any receivers. Xavier Reception. It's unfortunate he went undrafted. I think he'll be a steal for the Tennessee Titans. He reunited with the Cam Ward in Tennessee. Jacoby George, Isaiah Horton, Sam Brown Jr. I don't know any of these guys, to be honest with you. Sorry, no offense. Elijah Arroyo, I believe he was a Seattle Seahawk as well. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Got some decent tight ends there. Jalen Rivers, I think he might have got drafted this year. Can't remember. Matthew McCoy, we got him. Marcus Chamberlain. Is that Cooper? Wait, whoa. Louis Cristobal Jr. Is that Marco Cristobal's son? Mario Cristobal's son? We got Francis over there, left end. We got Tyler Barron, along with Elijah there. We got Ruben Dane Jr. We got a lot of freshmen here at the right end. That's good. Probably not going to need right end the rest of this video, huh? D tackles, we got some. We also got this freshman, Justin Scott. We'll see how he develops. And Mr. Jones. Left out, we got Adrian Haynes. He's got quick jump. We'll see how it develops. Francisco, middle linebacker, senior. Okay, so we got some nice options there. We got Wesley. Quarterback, we got Daryl Porter Jr., OJ, Richard Hill. Don't know any of these guys, no offense. We have Powell. Don't know him. Jaden Harris. Kicker, we have Andreas and then Dylan Joyce. So that's our roster, ladies and gentlemen. I think we could contend for the Natty this year, but if we want to become a powerhouse once again, we get a recruit, so let's go. Mike Jones, committed. Alex Priest, commits. Tommy Pryor, committed. D'Angelo Troop, committed. Taj Avrant, committed. Tavon Hawkinson, committed. Max Kolowski, commits. Farian Deuce Bonar, committed. Malik Bennett, committed. Matthew Hyman, committed. Keenan Ruffin, committed. Greg Cash, committed. Clyde Dallas, committed. Carl Labinjo, committed. Anthony Gutierrez, committed. Nate Fallon, committed. James Massafanolo, committed. Tommy Bullitt, committed. BJ Stroke, commits. Dom Kiki, committed. Cedric Figueroa, committed. Earl Agnew, committed. Keon Yancey, committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going to the ACC Championship, taking on #1 ranked Clemson. Antonio Jolly, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 Heisman Trophy winner is Cade Klubnik, quarterback from Clemson. He had 4,351 yards, 44 tutties, and 4 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Boca Raton Bowl, taking on Memphis. And ladies and gentlemen, we are the Boca Raton Bowl champions of the world. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year one stats. Cam Ward had 3,842 yards, 299 for 406, 37 tutties, 4 picks, 73% completion percentage. Rushing, Martinez, 199 for 1,169, 10 tutties. Cam Ward, 99 for 428, 4 tutties. Horton, 29 for 156, 3 tutties. Fletcher, 42 for 118, 5 tutties. George, 17, 44, 2 tutties. Johnson, 5 for 10. Restrepo, 2 for 10. How about the receiving? Horton, 72 for 9, 17. 12 tutties. George, 69 for 8, 81, 5 tutties. Restrepo, 47 for 724, 10 tutties. Arroyo, 48 for 709, 8 tutties. Sam Brown Jr., 19 for 275. Martinez, 31 for 246. Mark Fletcher Jr., 6 for 59. Cam, 4 for 19. And Johnson Jr., 3 for 12. How about the defense here? 93 tackles for Francisco, 73 for Wesley. Porter Jr., 68, 62 for Richard. Harris, 58, 54 for Powell. Hill with 48, 41 for Barlow Jr., 40 for Bain Jr. and Akimi. Tackles for loss, Bain Jr. with 8. Barron with 8, 7 for Brewer Jr., 4 for Porter Jr., 3 by Akimi, 1 by Francisco and Wesley. Sacks, 12 by Ruben Bain, 7 by Akimi. Tyler Barron, 5.5. Simon, 5. 3 for Wesley. Francisco, 2, along with Marley Cook. 1 for Elijah. And then Jalen with 0.5. Interceptions, 3 by Powell, 2 by Hill, 1 by Francisco, Porter Jr., Richard, Harris, and Robert. That's year 1 on year 2. And ladies and gentlemen, it was Alabama versus the Ohio State, with the Ohio State coming on top 34-21. Malik Rutherford committed. Melvin Jordan IV committed. Keon Keeley committed. Wilkie Dinardi committed. Cameron Medair committed. Henry Bryant committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the second best class in the nation here in year 1. We got some talent on year 2. Eric Alvarez committed. Jaden Yusuf committed. Legend Abasuyui committed. Joel Onwasor committed. Colin Kubrowski committed. Carl Hendricks committed. Tyree Dockery committed. Bobby Hoffricherter committed. Dylan Carney committed. David Mazza committed. Darren Chesnia committed. Cliff Roby committed. Carew committed. Jameer Denny committed. Artavius Terrell committed. Marquez Westbrook committed. Ray Kempfer committed. Don, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, has committed. Bob Banks commits. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Heisman Trophy winner going back-to-back is none other than Cade Klubnik, quarterback of Clemson. He had 4,219 yards, 43 tutties, 0 picks. Ladies and gentlemen, we went 7-5. I guess that's not good enough to get us in a bowl game. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 2 stats. D'Angelo Troop had 3,276 yards, 233 for 344, 34 tutties, 13 picks, 67% completion percentage. Only thing can go up, he's a freshman. Rushing, Martinez, 139 for 958, 10 tutties. Troop, 92 for 2 for 37, 2 tutties. Lyle, 48 for 200, 2 tutties. Malik, 11 for 90 with a tutty. Fletcher Jr., 14 for 36, 2 tutties. Brown Jr., 11 for 31 with a tutty. Horton, 7 for 22, 1 tutty. How about the receiving here? Rutford, 61 for 1,207, 17 tutties. Sam Brown Jr., 56 for 751, 8 tutties. Horton, 46, 654, 6 tutties. Ray Joseph, 14, 241, 3 tutties. Arroyo, 14 for 181. Martinez, 23 for 149. Jordan Lyle, 16 for 86. Charman, 1 for 4. Mark Fletcher Jr., 2 for 3. Defense, 69 tackles for Rulu. Wesley, 66, 62 for Jaden Harris. 53 for Richard. Williams, 53. 47 for OJ. 37 for Hill. Wilkie, 32. And 31 for Harris. And 30 for Ruben Bain Jr. Usually I don't do the 30, but I kept going. Hayes with 6, 5 for Bain Jr. and Scott, 3 for Horton, Raul, Horton had 3, Raul, Wesley, Jones, and Blunt with 2 apiece. Wilkie and Melvin Jordan, the 4th, with 1 apiece there. Sacks, 10 by Wilkie, Bain Jr., 7.5, Jones with 5.5, 3 for Scott and Blunt, 2 for Raul, 1.5 for Hayes and Richard, 1 by Wesley, and Melvin, half sack for OJ. Interceptions, 3 by Richard, 2 by Raul, Wesley, Harris, and Hill. And man, what a disappointing year 2. We're just moving on to year 3. And ladies and gentlemen, in your year 2 national title, it was USC-Oregon, an old-school Pac-12 matchup, but it was a Big Ten matchup. But Oregon coming on top, 24-10. Julian Armella committed. Javon Simpkins committed. Ethan Williams committed. Kevin Terry committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we once again finished with the second best class in the nation. Another top 5 class, another top 2 class. We gotta have a good year 3. Let's do it. Rico Canonico committed. Kevin Aquino committed. Damon Hopper committed. George Carnar committed. Lawrence Langston committed. Orlando Leo committed. Matthew Armstrong committed. All right, what's up, Zachary Green? Connor West committed. Caleb Clements committed. Devin Butcher committed. Malik Killebrew committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Heisman Trophy winner is Darian Menza, quarterback of Tulane. He had 4,289 yards, 53 tutties, and 4 picks. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Gasparilla Bowl, taking on the UFC Knights. And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have won the Gasparilla Bowl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is the year 3 stats. Emory Williams got the start. He had 4,164 yards, 309 for 484, 41 tutties, 5 picks, 63% completion percentage. Rushing, Lyle, 146, 796, 8 tutties. Williams, 59, 169, 2 tutties. Ray Joseph, 22 for 154, 3 tutties. Simpkins, 31 for 132 tutties. Eric, 12 for 69, 1 tutty. Nye Carr had 12 for 64, 1 tutty. Isaiah Horton, 5 for 9. I don't know. Now, Mr. Carr had 86 for 1,305, 15 tutties. Ray Joseph, 55 for 765, 8 tutties. Horton, 43 for 7086 tutties. Nate, 38 for 523, 3 tutties. Chance Robinson, 33 for 465 tutties. Lyle, 46 for 334, 3 tutties. Kiki, 4 for 49, 1 tutty. Simpkins, 3 for 12. Hyman, 1 for 8. How about the defense here? Mr. Raul with 73 tackles along with Cam. Jaden with 72, 63 for OJ, 62 for Robbie, 58 for Mr. Brown, 53 for Williams. Tackles lost, 6 by Cam and Ruben Bain Jr., 4 by Justice Scott, 3 by Hayes and Wilkie, 2 by Raul and Mr. Jones, 1 by Jada Harris, Bobby, Melvin, Armando, and Cedric. Sacks, we had 13.5 by Ruben Bain Jr., 6.5 by Wilkie, 4.5 by Jones, 4 by Scott, 2.5 by Blunt, Hayes with 2, Raul with 2, 1.5 by Cam and OJ, and 1 by Marquise Lightfoot, half sack by Bobby and Melvin. Interceptions 4 by Brown, 2 by Cam and OJ, 1 by Raul and Robbie Washington. I thought it was Bobby. Anyway, year 3, disappointing year winning the Gasparilla Bowl, but year 4 has to be our year. Let's make the playoffs. And ladies and gentlemen, it was Tennessee versus Tulane in the national title, and Tulane comes on top 35-27. William Flawless committed. Ja'Cory Barney Jr. committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 9th best class in the nation. That's the best in the ACC. Year 4, we have to make the playoffs. Let's do it. Reggie Ivy committed. Rob Scarrett commits. Abdul Witt committed. Ben Yellowtoe committed. Emmett Uphoff committed. John Long committed. Jake Cook committed. Alex Pope committed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the ACC Championship, and we're taking on Florida State. If we win, we get a bye. If we lose, we're playing in the first round of the playoff. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have won the ACC, and we're in the playoff. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2027 Heisman Trophy winner is Carl Labenjo, quarterback of your Miami Hurricanes. He had 3,817 yards, 46 tutties, and 5 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be going to the Rose Bowl, taking on the LSU Tigers. Ladies and gentlemen, we have won the Rose Bowl on to the semis. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Orange Bowl, taking on the Tennessee Volunteers. And we get home field advantage. And ladies and gentlemen, we have won the Orange Bowl. We're on to the Natty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the national title, and we're going to be taking on Boise State. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at NRG Stadium here in Houston, Texas. By the way, I'm sorry I have my air conditioner on. I'm in the middle of a heat wave right now. I had to keep it on to stay cool before I go to bed. Sorry about that. That's the one negative thing. But anyway, we're taking on Boise. I'm sorry, Boise. We built a powerhouse here in Miami. We recruited very well. Our talent's finally coming through. I swear to goodness, if we lose to Boise State, I might cry. No offense to Boise, they're a good team. But judging on the talent we recruited, we have to beat them. 4th and 1 at the 6. We are going to go for it. Here we go. Labajo hands it off. Johnson Jr. in. First go the 1. From the 1. A chance to make it 7-0. Johnson Jr. breaks a tackle. He's in with ease. 7-0, the U. Here we go. Another 1st and goal at the 1. A chance to go 14 zip. Langajo hands it off. Cash. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry to disappoint you, but my internet, once again, the dog shit internet we have at the house. I don't pay the internet, so it is what it is. My stream crashed halfway through the national title, so we don't get to see the big celebration. It doesn't even matter. Poor old Boise State. We beat the piss out of them, 24-3. We have finally done it. We are now the kings of college football. We have brought the U back to national glory. We brought them an. Sorry, I failed you all. But let's try to end on a positive, I guess. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 4 stats. Of course, my stream won't cut when I'm doing the stats, of course. Anyway, Carl had 4,284 yards, 304 for 398, 51 touchdowns, 5 picks, 76% completion percentage. Rushing, Johnson Jr., 232 for 1,040 yards, 11 tutties. Carl, 127 for 594, 5 tutties. Barney Jr., 24 for 143, 3 tutties. Greg Cash, 34 for 110, 2 tutties. Anthony, 90 for 70. Mr. Carr, 15 for 45, 2 tutties. Alvarez, 4 for 29, 1 tutty. Denny, 8 for 20. How about the receiving here? I was rushing? Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Receiving, Carr, 75 for 1,195, 18 tutties. Anthony, 46 for 796, 7 tutties. Jacoby, 60 for 783, 12 tutties. Hyman, 54 for 752, 4 tutties. BJ, 30 for 499, 9 tutties. Johnson Jr., 27, 154. Greg Cash, 4 for 44. Denny, 4 for 31. Nate, 4 for 30. How about the defense here? 93 tackles for Cam. Bobby Washington with 79. 75 for Damian Brown. Jones, 67, along with Malik Killebrew. OJ, 6'5", 60 for Clyde Dallas. Hayes, 52, along with Robbie Washington. 45 for Wilkie. Tackle for loss, Mr. Jones, 3. 2 for Bobby, Malik, OJ, Clyde, and Hayes. 1 for Robbie Washington. Sack, 17 by Jones, 15 by Wilkie, 7.5 by Hayes. Hawkinson with 6, 5.5 for Blunt, 3.5 for Camp and Justin Scott, 1.5 for Bobby, half sack for Brown, Malik, and Robbie. Interceptions, Bobby Washington and OJ with 3, 2 for Cam, Brown, and Robbie, and Clyde Dallas, 1 by Hayes, Malik, and Avery. Once again, I'm sorry for my piss poor internet, but hey, we have a chance to repeat here in year 5. Let's go. Mauricio Hines committed. Willis McGahee IV committed. Matt Workman committed. Jason Zamdelia committed. Nick McDonald committed. Ty Hilton committed. Max Kolozowski committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 11th best class in the nation. That is the 3rd best in the ACC. Doesn't matter, we won an Natty, but we're trying to go back-to-back. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know when you see the screen, auto-recruiting on, let's get the simming. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently 9-0 with 3 games to go. There's a good shot we could go undefeated, but so far, things are looking good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is number 1 North Carolina taking on number 2 Miami in the ACC Championship. One team gets a bye, the other has to play in the opening round. And ladies and gentlemen, we are ACC champions, and we're on to the playoffs now. And ladies and gentlemen, I figured I'd show you this. Carl Labenjo, once again, Heisman, back-to-back. He had 3,641 yards, 42 tutties, and 2 picks. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a rematch from last year's Super Bowl, this time taking place at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Miami versus LSU. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at Jerry's Road. Again, my air conditioning is on. I'm sorry about the audio quality because I want to go to bed cool. We're in the middle of a heat wave here where I live. Anyway, it's Miami versus LSU. And we played them in the Rose Bowl last year. We beat them. Can we do it again? I don't know. We have the back-to-back Heisman Trophy winner. We're also back-to-back ACC title champs. We're just missing that natty. Here we go. Miami, LSU at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. Alrighty, Mr. Carr got a 26-yard touchdown to make it 13-7. Alrighty, 2nd and goal at the 6-2-minute timeout. Mr. Labenjo, he's going to hike it. Got it. Touchdown, whatever his name. 14-13. Let's go. Chance Robinson with a 33-yard touchdown to make it 21-13 going to half. Greg Cash with a 9-yard rush, 28-13. Greg Cash now with an 11-yard rush to make it 35-20. And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have now beaten LSU in back-to-back years. We are on to the semifinals. Next question. We beat LSU twice. Back-to-back Heisman, back-to-back ACC. Can we get that back-to-back natty? Find out. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a rematch from the ACC, a team we beat in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. It's going to be the North Carolina Tar Heels. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. We're going to be rocking the all-green, taking on Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels. I know Bill Belichick's not in the game. Anyway, throw your U's up. We're trying to go back-to-back. Look at Ivory. Is he, the Ivis, whatever his name is. Holding the U up. It is our chance to go back-to-back, but we have to beat a team we played in the ACC title. They're looking for revenge. I believe we're the only team to beat this team. They want revenge on us. It's going to be a hard-fought game. Let's go. And Max Kozlowski, probably butchered his name, 12-yard rush, 7-0, the U. First and goal at the 7, a chance to go up 14. Here we go, a run. Greg Cash trying to find a hole, but no blocking help. Second and goal from the 8. Here we go. Kolowski gets a nice block. He's in with ease. Touchdown, Miami, 14-0. Here we go. Third and goal at the 5. A chance to make it 21-zip. Laringo hikes it. Hits X. Marks a spot. Hyman Hisman in for the touchdown. 21-zip, baby. Throw your U's up. Greg Cash with a 1-yard rush to give us a 35-3 lead. Yeah, it's a blowout at the Peach Bowl. Max Kolowski gets a 2-yard rush, 42-10. Ladies and gentlemen, it was not even close. North Carolina seemingly did not give a fuck, I guess. I don't know. Where was their revenge? We were the only team to beat them. I guess they don't care. We blew them out 49-10, and we're going back to Natty. Hopefully, my internet doesn't crash. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the national championship here in year 5 with a chance to repeat, but the only team that stands in our way are the Maryland Terrapins. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at Jerry's World, Arlington Stadium, or AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Chance to go back-to-back here against Maryland. Throw your U's up, indeed. We are much better than Maryland. I hate to say it, but I think we should beat Maryland here. It just shouldn't even be close. We've blown everyone out in the playoff besides LSU, excuse me. But I'm sorry. We're the better team. I should be cocky. Back-to-back Heisman Trophy winner, back-to-back ACC titles. Like, we're a good team. We should win back-to-back here. Here we go. Maryland, Miami, right here, right now. Here we go. First and goal at the 5. A chance to make it 7-zip. Labajo hands it off to Cash. He's going to go out wide. He's going to break free. Easy touchdown. Throw your U's up. 7-zip. It should be a blowout, folks. Let's continue the domination. I don't know who scored, but it's a touchdown, 14-3. Carl Labajo with a 51-yard rush. It's 24-3 before half. It might be over, folks. It might be over. We have first and goal at the 1 here. A chance to go up 31-3. Labajo, Cash in there with ease. It is probably over. 31-3. Utter domination. We're kicking ass, taking names. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have gone back-to-back with Miami. It was a blowout. It was an utter blowout. We took care of Maryland with ease. Back-to-back Natty champions. I think Miami might have been one of the best teams I think I rebuild in college football 25. What a team. Labajo probably might have been my favorite quarterback in this. There's a bug flying on my wall, but I will kill that in 1 second. But we're here to celebrate our national champions. The U is back, folks. It's back. Ladies and gentlemen, we done it. Back-to-back national titles. This one on record. The last one, my internet went out. Apologies again. My internet is not good. I don't pay the bills here. I have to suck it up. I do live with my parents. I'm hoping to move out eventually, but right now I got school and stuff. But, you know, my parents pay the bills. Gotta suck it up. Anyway, national championship with 2 with ease. We beat Boise with ease, and we beat Maryland with ease. I mean, there was no competition. Even LSU, they gave us our best game, but we blew them out. It was utter domination by your Miami Hurricanes. What a team, what a squad we put together here for the Canes. It was a really fun rebuild, a lot of good talent, and yeah. Anyway, again, CFP 26 is on the horizon, so if you're mad that I did not do your team, there's always next year. Miami, off the list for this year at least. We'll probably do Miami again next year, maybe. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, hit like, hit subscribe. When I say like, subscribe, it will motivate me to keep doing this. Leave a comment in the comment section. Helps get the engagement up, gets my content out to more people. And I want you to have a great day or have a great night, depending on when you're watching this video. And I will see you in the next one. Peace. I'm out.